No. So his great intellect was not that great, only great in the scientific world where they deal in foreign language and they've got nothing human in it because it doesn't apply to his wife. You know, anything that doesn't apply to a man's wife is robotic. So massive intellects, you know, the place over here, I should think, with all the professors is filled with massive intellects. But intellect is part of the robotic. Mental, our ability to be mental, is robotic. The only thing that counts is pure intelligence. But because there's pure intelligence in us, it degenerates as it comes down into the body. It degenerates into mind, the movement of mind, which is then called intelligent. Well, the mind is not intelligent. It has a phantom intelligence which is reflected from the pure intelligence that's in us. But we get attached or believe in the phantom intelligence, which is our minds. Where I tell you that anything your mind ever thought of or ever will think of is rubbish. Now that's quite a statement, isn't it? That's because it's not intelligent. So you can forget anything you ever thought of or ever want to think of, and you could go out for 10 years and it wouldn't matter that much. And you can come back in 10 years. Wouldn't matter that you hadn't thought for 10 years at all. Probably did you the world of good. So nothing you can think of is of value. Are you listening to me? Because thought is not intelligent. Thinking is not intelligent. The only intelligence is to realize where I come from. Where I come from this very moment, immediately now, where I am coming from. And I am coming from the other, which is deep down inside me. That's where my pure intelligence comes from. And I'm talking about the body listening to these words. Where your mind comes from is a copy, a phantom, a reflection of a form of intelligence called a mind. And it's not intelligent, and the more you study, the more you become unintelligent. The more you learn at the university, the more you become unintelligent. The more you learn that men have learned in science or anything, the more unintelligent you become. Now, isn't that remarkable? The only thing is that learning has a place in the robotic world. And we are all in the robotic world. So, in the robotic world, as it evolves today, we have to go to school, we have to study, we have to learn robotic subjects, we have to learn everything that is not real, which according to where we have to go. So that's not to say that you should not go to university or you should not learn. But you should know that the more you learn, the more unhappy you become. The more there is to think about, the more there is to fear, particularly examinations, when you will be terrified that you don't pass and all the repercussions of that. And then you will have a good celebration when you do pass with lots of booze or something else which is quite unintelligent. So you'll be robotic to celebrate all your successes and to mourn all your failures, right? That is robotic. So the only intelligence is to start to discover the line of intelligence that comes from the other down inside you into this robot and allows the robot to actually appear to be alive. And you only do that when you have had a certain amount of experience and you have suffered as a result of your experience. Anyone who has not suffered as a result of experience finds it extremely difficult to make the turn around, to go back into your own intelligence, back into your own willing to the source of your intelligence in the other. But that's what experience is for, because everybody has to suffer. Nobody escapes. You can think that somebody with $1 million or something has got a good life. Don't worry, there's always suffering for them. There's always their children they're attached to that die. There's always their companies that fail. They go to jail. They're sick. They've got something inside of them that's a problem that you never hear about. Nobody escapes. But the thing is that brings us more and more out of our intellectuality and out of our mentality to say, well, what's it about? What's it about? That's the best question anyone ever asked. What's it about? The trouble is that the human mind, like science, comes in and gives an answer. Well, it's about the Big Bang Theory, it's about Einstein's theory and all this rubbish, and it's not about that at all. That's part of the robotic evolution. So I'm talking about what you're endeavouring to do, and the secret of it is to not need the same experience again that has caused you unhappiness or problems. I'll say that again. To not need again and not go into the same experience again that has caused you to be unhappy and disturbed. It's twice enough for me to say that, or you're going to go into it again. You're going to have the same experience again. Well, that's what we do. We're still robotic, and so we go in and we have another go. This will be different this time. It won't be any different this time. Why? Because you're still robotic. You're still hoping and wishing instead of looking. Now, when you look, is the first sign of intelligence is to look. And not to look out into the external in that sense that science is always looking out beyond themselves, into objects, but to look inside and see, well, what is right or what is true here in this situation? What is right? What is true for me here? That's the beginning of intelligence. And if you are attached to your emotions, which are your feelings, from which you've made so many, many decisions and so many, many mistakes right throughout your life, if you keep giving in to your feelings and making decisions from your feelings, you must suffer more and more, and you are still robotic. So I don't want you to just have me talking, please. I want you to see if your feelings have misled you. The last time you fell in love, for instance, you went by your feelings, how beautiful it was. Well, where is he now? Where is she now? Or the first time you fell in love, and how beautiful it was from a feeling, indescribable feeling of beauty, loveliness. Where is he now? Where is she now? Long gone. Because it wasn't true. It was a feeling. It wasn't the truth. But then you had to get your experience so that you would eventually know, and this is what existence is about, so that you'd eventually realize, I don't want to be robotic. I don't want to give in to my feelings all the time. I don't want to be directed by those. They're my emotions, and I know that emotions are not reliable, because I'm angry today, and tomorrow I'm not angry at all. I'm wanting something today, and tomorrow I don't want it or can't be bothered. All emotions